Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Clowns with Four Guys with Quarters, going live with a very, very, very special guest today who's really awesome and has done amazing stuff. But real quick, before we get into her, I'm just going to let you know Flamish is on the panel and Gaz will be joining us as well. How do we say your name correctly?
Oh yeah, well, because I'm Irish, we like to mess with people as much as possible. So it's Siobhan. Although in Ireland it's Siobhan because it's got like an accent on the end. Siobhan, Siobhan. But I'm not going to make you say my name with an Irish accent, but technically that's how it's pronounced.
I just heard
Siobhan.
technically how it's pronounced. I didn't hear. Hi, how you doing?
There it is.
How do you pronounce your name?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
I'm not bad, not bad.
So in the technical way, it's Siobhan.
Siobhan, yeah, Siobhan.
But actually everyone calls me Shiv or Siobhan or just S, because they're like, no, enough with it. Like, not gonna happen.
I wondered how the Americans were gonna spell it. How'd you pronounce it, Clouds? You called it.
You really want to hear? Because I probably said it really. I said it terribly. My thought was like Siobhan.
Oh, I knew you were gonna butcher that name. I knew it.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't like that because I saw the apostrophe up atop the A, so I was like, yeah, it's not that because I know also a little bit of French. So I'm like,
there we go. Yeah.
I didn't know entirely how it was, but I was thinking something different.
Look, to be honest, when you should see when a Frenchman sees my name and they just go, sit. What the? I'm not. I've.
So, I bet it's like that. I bet.
So, yeah. So, but well done. Yeah.
You smashed it.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on and being here with us because you've done some really amazing stuff out there, amazing work in the industry, and you're multi-talented. You do many things from voicing characters to film, TV, and theater. So
I thought you were talking about me. I was like, oh wow, such nice praise.
Nope, sorry guys. Sorry guys.
Oh my God, I'm sort of talentless hack now. Especially compared to Siobhan's CV. I am nothing in comparison.
Oh, stop it. We're both wearing hats, pretty good hats. So, like yours says dope on it, which I think I need on my hat.
You don't need this.
Frankly, but...
There's a funny story.
So yeah, we're live. And
we're live?
Yeah, we're live. I already announced you guys before you came on. I announced you. I was like, oh, guys.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Okay. I did not know we were live.
Yeah, we had a whole time mix up because I'm in America and Google didn't translate the time zone correctly, so that was my fault. So Siobhan, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into doing what you're doing?
Sure. I grew up between the west coast of Ireland, which is where I am at the moment, in a small town called Lahinch. I grew up between here and Whitstable in Kent, another small seaside town. So I think I'm forever destined seaside towns because I love them and need to be near the sea. I'm an actress, writer, producer, poet, artist. Are there other things? I'm sure there are other things in there that I've kind of forgotten. Voiceover artist as well, which is one of my absolute main. Is my, I don't know, my family, 5 generations have been actors for us, and they were like, please don't be an actor, please just be like a lawyer or a doctor, make some money and support us, please God, don't be an actor. And by the time I reached like 6 years old, I was like, give me an agent. They refused, and then I just went into it anyway. So I basically auditioned for drama school, got a scholarship, and then the rest is kind of history, actually. That's the potted condensed version of like bit of my life. So yeah, so that's how that all happened. Yeah, didn't really have a choice. Love it too much. It's always been my passion.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. So your family was against it, and you still pursued what your dream was, and
Yeah.
it turns out that it was the right choice for you. So that's really cool.
I mean, they supported me as soon as they realized, well, to begin with, as soon as they realized that I was any good, because before I would be really nervous doing any kind of an acting piece in front of my mum in particular. My dad, because he was just super chill, but I did in front of my mum, and I'd be like, I was just told like at school that I was amazing at this and I really want to do this scene. She'd be like, okay, let's see it then. And I'm like, fuck. Okay. So I'd sit down and I'd be like, I'd try and do it. And it was awful, like really bad, like the worst acting. And my mum would just smile at me really kind of, sweetly, like, oh, poor you, she can't act at all. And I'd just be like, no, it's not, I actually can act, Mom, I can act. She was like, no, that was great. That was really good. And I was like, no, it was like just literally just before. So it was only until I got to about 16 and was playing a tiny part in Grease, the musical of all things. And my family came to see it. And afterwards they were just like, oh my God, you're amazing. You're an actor. And I was like, now you think I'm an actor after that tiny little part? And I was doing Shakespeare to you all these years. And I'm like, okay, fine. And they were like, yeah, you're an actor. You have to do it. We get it. So like ever since, they've been hugely supportive of what I love. It's my, living the dream.
That's
Not
awesome.
many
Yeah.
people can say that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you do theater
Mhm.
versus like movies, is
Mm.
it hard to remember the lines? Because in the movies, like, are they allowed to help you behind the camera, like hold up cue cards? Versus theater, it seems like you're in front of a live audience and the lines
I
could
mean,
be forgotten.
they can be forgotten. I quite enjoy it. Not when I forget a line on stage, because that, touch wood, I'm going to jinx myself now. And the next time I go on stage, I'm going to forget all my lines. But when someone else forgets a line, everything becomes like, already it feels very real on stage anyway. But it just becomes super real. And you're all stood there and you're like, who just dropped the, oh, and you look at the actor who, like, you've never seen terror until you've looked an actor in the eye on stage when they've forgotten the line and they've got no idea how to get out of it. And you can help them, or you obviously help them, but you can just be like, depending how long the run in the theatre has been, like if it's been like for 8 weeks and you feel like, fucking with them a little bit, you'll wait a little bit and then you'll be like, and there we go, I've got you out of that hole, But so yeah, it depends. You know what? There are sometimes, like, I've done films before where it's a stupid line. And I've done Shakespeare. I've done all the Shakespeare pieces. That's fine. I've done like 3-hour plays, not forgotten one word. And then there's a stupid line in a movie that you just can't remember. Just can't. And they're like on take 5. And then okay, it's, you pick up the shoe and put it in the hall, Rodney, or something. I don't know. I don't even know why I said that, because it doesn't even make any sense. But it popped into my head.
That from?
I don't know. No wonder I couldn't remember that line. I mean, listen, it's ridiculous. So you're kind of like, okay, it's, I pick up the shoe and what was it again? And they're like, I pick up the shoe and walk into the hall, Rodney. And you're like, okay, no, fine, yeah, I've got it. And they're like, okay, and action. You're like, I pick up the, sorry, is it Rodney or is it, no, it's Victor. And they're just like, oh, yeah. And then they just cut the line, so it's fine. Which they should have done in the first place. I can't believe I'm calling myself a writer when I actually just improvised that terrible line. But there we go. It's okay.
No, that's quite inventive, really.
Yeah. I've got a question for you. So, because you've done a lot of films, actually, and I was actually thinking, like, how you got into the film industry, like your first movie, and how was that first time experience?
Oh, great. Actually, so the first movie, like when you're at drama school, you are not supposed to be auditioning. You're supposed to stay in drama school for the full 3 years. Like that is it. Them's the rules. So of course I'm not great with rules. And I'm always like, well, sure, there's wiggle room, isn't there? I mean, there's the rule and then there's like my rules. So I had an agent who'd spotted me in a school production. So whilst I was at drama school, I'm sorry to my teachers at drama school, but you know what? Like, I'm not that sorry. And,
I hated drama school.
and I auditioned for this horror film called The Gathering. It's my first ever film, and it was for this a director called Brian Gilbert he did Wild. You know, he's a big, you know, with Jude Law, he's a big director. And yeah, this was kind of perfect for me, this role. Like I was playing perfect for me. Well, I thought as my first role it was perfect because I got to die at the beginning of the film. Like I got to be the girl who sets up the movie at the beginning and dies horrifically. And I was like, yes, when I got that part. And I was working in a cafe at the time, like thinking I was never going to get anything or anything like that. And I was just like, I've made it, guys. You know, like I'm out of here. I'm never working at a coffee shop ever again. It's Hollywood all the way, baby. Okay, I was really wrong about that, and I did have many stints of making cappuccinos again, and and I'm very grateful for that. But I loved my just like, this is it. This is the break. Yeah, it was kind of ridiculously fun. You know, I had to go and have like prosthetics done because the setup was. It was we were supposed to be like myself and my boyfriend in it, who's played by an actor called Ollie Chris, who is a legend, very funny. Gosh, he's done loads and loads of work. Like the setup was that we were supposed to be at Glastonbury, dancing away, a bit stoned, smoke a joint, you know, and then he wanted to walk up to the kind of top of Glastonbury. There's the festival happening, and he walks off and I turn around and he's completely disappeared. Okay. So I'm like, oh, you know, looking for him like Brett. And so I'm like, and then suddenly I've fallen through the roof of an abandoned church. Okay. And I'm suddenly like, I get my lighter out. I'm at the bottom and I'm freezing cold. My legs are all broken. I mean, I love this, by the way. I'm such a horror, like I love big scary things. So I'm lying there and I'm like, got my lighter out and I'm like looking around in the cold, like shivering. And then I see my boyfriend has landed on this big stone sword of some like sculpture, you know, in the church. So he's just dead there. And then I just scream and scream and scream. Okay. But so in our rehearsal, and Ollie will probably kill me for this, I don't care because it was too funny. And this is my first job. So, in the rehearsal, he's chatting to Brian Gilbert, you know, amazing director, so experienced. And he's like, yeah, mate, he's like, I was just thinking, like, what if my character isn't quite dead, okay? And I was like, you can't fall from like 30 foot onto a massive stone sword and just be only like, be partially dead. You're 100% dead, mate. You can't just you can be like, I love you. I mean, what's gonna be so yeah. So that was the director was just like, no, we're not enacting Romeo and Juliet in the crypt, mate. That's the end of that. So yeah, so that could not have wished for a better role. Honestly, I was just like, yep, that's me. I died horrifically. Job done at the beginning of the film. Perfect.
Was that the stepping stone then for?
It's good.
Would you say that was the break? Because that was the break into the industry. Because do some people perceive that, you know, that one big moment as the one that kind of opened the doors for everything? Was that the one, The Gathering, or?
No, it wasn't the one, because I don't think, you know what, the cast was amazing. it's like Christina Ricci, Stephen Merchant,
Stephen Merchant, wow.
who was playing the guy in it. It's just hilarious. He spent most of his time, I think he was going fishing most of the time. Not in the film. He wasn't playing a zombie fisherman because that would be weird.
I was gonna
but
say,
like,
that's
oh,
weird.
it wasn't Stephen Merchant. It's Mackenzie Crook. Mackenzie Crook. Sorry, it's Stephen. It's like it just magically combined those guys. No, it was Mackenzie Crook.
Okay.
Yeah, who else? Anyway, an amazing cast. But the thing is that acting doesn't necessarily. I thought that was going to be the big break. It definitely opened doors for sure when people see the kind, it's your first thing on your CV and all this kind of stuff. I think the big break for me and in France definitely was my next film, which was called Monsieur N, which was directed by Antoine de Caunes, who is this incredible French TV presenter, director from like a very old family of French legends, and did Eurotrash in England, which is what I knew him from. This very eccentric, yeah. He was in Eurotrash, which is this very funny, very risque French English TV series. So I didn't realize that he was a director as well. But yeah, I auditioned for that, and that and I got it. And it's the lead role playing. I had to learn French for it, and I was filming in Paris and South Africa, and that was really nice. I have to say, that was not bad, with Richard E. Grant as well, who is a complete legend, and a bit of a prankster as well. But that comes with the territory when you've been in this business, I suppose, for a long time, and you want to mess with the new kids, that are coming in. So yeah.
Just messing with the veterans. That's a rite of passage anyway. You're allowed to do that.
Exactly. It's fine. That's what I do with the youngsters now. Very young, small ones. I'm like, oh, let's see. No, I don't. I'm actually really nice. I'm really nice. I don't do anything nasty or mischievous. I mean, maybe mischievous, because them's the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was always curious about that, to be honest. Is like when you're staying at a movie set at a specific location, and actors have trailers that they stay in. I was always wondering if they ever mess with each other. Like the trailers aren't far apart. If you just like mess with each other or knock on the doors or any fun stuff.
Oh yeah. 100%. Always. You're always like messing around. And also I suppose what's one of my funniest, I did this TV series with Benedict Cumberbatch and Hugh Laurie and Anna Chancellor, and that was I think that was my first TV series. And it's more the fact that with trailers you can kind of get yourself in a lot of trouble because you forget that it's not a solid wall. Like everyone can hear what you're saying between trailers. And yeah, I don't know. And I'll never. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember Anna Chancellor was in? She's an actress. She was in 4 Weddings and a Funeral. There was a role called Duck. She played a role called Duckface in it. Anyway, if you remember 4 Weddings and a Funeral, there is this character called Duckface. She is Duckface in it. Now, when we started working on this TV series, we'd all call her Duckface because we were children and we were just she was in that big film and she was Duckface. And I'll never forget it because we were all sat behind her back. Yeah, we'd be like, oh, here comes Duckface, woo! Yeah, we were little shits basically. And I'll never forget because we were all sat there, like Benedict, myself, Neil Henry, and Emma Ferguson. We're all sat in the trailer. I'm pretty sure it was Benedict. I'm going to blame Benedict anyway because it's always good to blame him. But I'm pretty sure he was like, so how is Duckface anyway today? And then straight from next door, we heard, I heard that, Benedict. And we were like,
oh no.
So yeah. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, you're always, unless you've got a big serious part, like scene coming up, most of the time you're trying to just entertain each other, because a lot of days are quite waiting around, or you might just have to do a walk along a corridor and a look, so
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, trying to act is when we have to respect each other's boundaries, which is just like, okay, now they need quiet time. But every other time, oh god, actually, yeah, even on the last film that I did, Tom Burke was always being a little shit between me and the trailers, and he'd leave. He'd be jumping out of space, like I'd be walking along towards the trailer, and he'd try and jump out to terrify me every time I'm coming near the trailer, and I'm like, okay, again. Again, yes.
That's something I would do. I'm so juvenile. Tom Burke was like, he doesn't look like he's the type who would do it.
That's why he's clever.
Yeah.
He really does know how to, and he'll leave me kind of voice messages going like, oh, hello, I'm Siobhan, really taking the piss out of me while I'm in Ireland, going, I'm Siobhan, and I'm just gonna go surf. Oh. I'm like, yes, Tom, okay, yes, thank you. And he's like, oh, and now I'm going to eat something organic. Oh, isn't it lovely? And I'm like, yes, thank you, Tom. That's great. Thank you.
He's a cool guy. I think Rex joined us, hasn't he?
we have another panel member, Dreadful, who's a little bit late, but he's joining us as well. So we have like kind of like a pretty big podcast with friends and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. We're all
Yeah, it's
gamers.
great.
We all play video games and all love your Dark Queen. All hail the Dark Queen.
Thank you. Thanks,
Now-
guys. It's
I
really,
see-
really appreciated.
Yeah,
I
you have to understand, Siobhan, we're really uncultured shit. So half the actors you mentioned, you're probably better off naming naming Pokemon. We'll all recognize them as opposed to the actors. I'm not even going to lie. I'm actually Googling some of these names. Like, oh shit, that's fucking Adam Sandler. Oh, Tom Burke, I know him.
You must have fucking watched 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Come on, Duck.
No.
No, you haven't seen 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
I
You
have.
underestimate. Oh, you have. Okay, well there you go.
Do you know what I will do? I will actually watch it this weekend with my girlfriends. So I'm a little
Yes,
bit interested.
do. Oh, it's lovely. I
Well,
love it.
well, you kind of know what the ending's about, isn't it? It's in the title of the movie, isn't it? Or-
Well, no, that's not. It's like it's partially, but you don't know who dies, do you?
Oh wow, that's very morbid.
So there's a little bit of suspense.
Yeah.
Is there any movies
Yes,
that?
it does.
I'm
go
sorry. Go ahead.
No, nothing.
All right.
I was slipping down the morbid stream. I do have a habit of doing that. But no, come on. Okay, I'm back.
Oh, I love the dark stuff. That's all good.
Yeah, I love it as well. My mum's like, please, God, don't choose another film for us, please. And I'm like, no, but this is a cheery thing. And she's like, you don't do cheery. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Anyway.
What is looking back at your growing up, is there any movies that come to mind that you just were inspired by or that you liked a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I love Star Wars, the original Star Wars, absolutely loved Star Wars. Raiders of the Lost Ark, again, huge fan, like all of the Indiana Jones films, loved them. Back to the Future.
Oh yes.
I think you're just naming all the nerdy ones so we can actually.
I am a nerd. I'm a massive geek. I was a gamer when I was, like going up until I was about 25, and then I fell off for some reason.
Well,
I'm a massive geek.
It's never
I'm
too
a
late
massive
to.
nerd and gamer. Yeah.
It's never too late to get back into.
Well, I
gaming.
think, but the thing is that I know I will just, between the times of me going surfing and gaming, I mean, there's literally just not going to be any more hours left in the day. I'm already struggling enough to find time to get everything that I like. I got up at 5:30 or 6 this morning so that I could get up and meditate, then write for 2 hours, catch on my work, do some voiceovers before then, just because I had to go surfing at 10:30, I was like, I have to go surfing. So and then surfing again this afternoon, and I'm like, okay, so when do I
Wait,
fit in the
where do you
gaming?
surf?
And then, well, just in my hometown in Lahinch.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
I thought you were an Ents here in London for some reason.
No, I kind of moved. I've moved. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh wow, nice.
Because I've got some writing I need to do here, and like, so I'm writing and surfing, and I'm really quite happy with those life choices right now.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Well, if you do
What
it late
show?
nights, you could game with the US gamers.
Yes.
Yay, okay. Oh,
See?
hi, Dreadpool.
Hi,
Can't
sorry,
see your
sorry, I'm
face,
late.
but
Yeah, I
That's
don't do faces
That's
during
okay.
the day.
no, that's okay. Understood. I appreciate that. I respect your boundary.
I
on
don't.
that.
I don't respect his boundaries. That's the only reason why I can't invite him on our show, because I want to see his face.
Have you never?
Oh,
seen
that's
his
the
face?
only reason.
Have you
That's the
guys? You
only
must
reason.
have seen his face.
Oh,
You've seen your Dreadpool. Have you shown your face to anyone?
Yes.
No, not even my wife. Literally,
Not
even
your-
my wife has never seen my true face.
Is there
Okay, so
perpetual
Drip-
back you put on?
It's
I-
the because I have a full beard, and when she met me, I already had it, so she's never seen my face.
Hey, Dripple, maybe have like a dread
Wow.
costume and just have the helmet over you and then come on camera.
Yeah, you could be Ryan Reynolds' stunt double.
You never
There you
know.
go.
Never know.
We haven't
That's
seen clowns'
a
face
really
by
good
that.
idea.
Well, my I am on another podcast where at night, because it is dark out, I do turn on my camera.
Yeah, you need to get a cam on, then you can come on to.
Is that because you're a vampire that you can't show your face during the day, or
I
you know?
literally-
I'm
yeah,
just
well,
checking.
That's kind of my secret, you know. I literally work all night, which is why I had a cat nap
Let's go. Oh,
and I'm here
I
late.
blew it. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you
Yeah.
know,
I'm gonna give Dreadpool a shout out because we're on this podcast together. And if you're ever
Yeah.
bored, at night around 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays, it's a degenerate podcast called Gaming Beyond the Box, where we just get together, talk about random stuff, and just have a bunch of fun.
right.
And there's one drunk guy on there at least every time.
Excellent.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a good
That's great.
time.
and
I will
Gas
check
is not
that
part of
out.
it.
So it's called
not-
Gaming Beyond the Box. is
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Okay.
Gaming Beyond the Box.
Got that written down whilst I start my late night gaming, and then I will have no hours left in day or night. And that's perfect.
Yes.
Great.
Well,
I'm
you know what?
Some actually game during the show too. So
Really? Wow.
yeah, we have
Okay.
one of our members that literally every time he's on, he's always gaming. You see him sitting there, he's not even paying attention to the camera. He's got the camera on him, but he's looking to his TV, and then you'll see him like look over to his right and look at us, look at the camera and saying, "What?" and then throw his 2 cents in. Ghost is funny when you see him.
Well, Siobhan, there's something I want to say. I know you said you don't have time to game because you're always busy writing,
Yeah.
meditating, and probably doing a lot healthier stuff than us geeks do today.
I mean,
Definitely. You
Yeah.
mentioned organic food. That was enough to set me off. Organic food. That doesn't mean anything to anyone else here. Live on pizza boxes. There's a
It
pizza
just
box.
means,
Yeah. You don't want to see my desk. I will say that.
He's got a
Oh.
candy. Well,
And
Flamish has a candy dish, and he says it in Belgium all the time to me. It's like spoondekiss,
No, Snoopkiss.
Snoopkiss. I always get it wrong. It's called Snoopkiss.
what- is that what candy dish in
No,
Belgian?
That's what candy is, but that's in Flemish. So that's
Flemish?
yeah.
So candy in Flemish is snootkies.
Yes.
Snoopkiss. Yes.
Like
Alright,
Snoop
I
Dogg
love
giving you a
that.
kiss.
I'm
I
sorry.
like that. It's like-
He wishes.
I like that. Sounds much better than candy, doesn't it? Or
Yeah.
sweet. Snootkies.
Yeah,
a
it's
bit-
it's with my own accent. So it's like the Antwerp accent. We like to say "cuss" at the end of something.
Okay. Ah, I did
It's-
not know
it-
this.
You like to say "kuss" at the end of something.
Yeah.
That means vagina in Afghan language. By the
No, I don't go
Does it
that.
stop from the word?
way.
If you
Well,
have some other questions.
well, also, Siobhan, I just want to say that recently Xbox came out with something called Xbox Cloud. So you can play Xbox on your phone on the go.
Oh,
So you could
my
take a controller and put a clip on your controller, and you could sit there, and even if you only had like 5 minutes to jump in Halo or Gears of War, so you could hop right in there, Siobhan. You can even hear your own voice as the Dark Queen in Battletoads.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could just jump on for 5 minutes in Battletoads right there.
And
Yeah.
then watch
Jump
your
in,
career
God.
come crashing down as the addiction for
I
gaming.
should do that. I'm gonna do that. Okay. I can't believe. Okay, so I will do that because I haven't played Battletoads yet, which seems quite wrong.
That's
Really?
criminal. How has that happened, Siobhan? How have you not played the game you voiced it?
So have
That's really bad.
Pretty bad, isn't it? I know. I just, I've just been really busy. I've been really busy. Sorry, AJ. And I've just fallen off the gamer wagon. Now I need to
Now's
get
the time
back
to get
on
back on?
wagon. How
Yeah.
long? Yeah. It's been a
We'll
while.
drag you. We'll
yeah,
drag
we're a
you.
good
along.
group to bring you
Drag
onto
me back.
gaming again.
Drag me back. I'm gonna play Battletoads probably tomorrow. Not tomorrow because I'm really busy tomorrow. What day is tomorrow? Thursday. Friday. I'm playing Battletoads. I'm gonna hear.
Yes.
Yeah,
Fri-
that's happening. I'm gonna.
You know, and that's the shame part is it's not online. Otherwise, we'd offer to play with you.
Technically, you can play online on PC with a program that you can download called Parsec,
Yes.
but
It's
If you have a
complicated though.
yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you know what? Maybe I will play a copy of Battletoads on Friday. I think my friend's got a copy of it actually. Pretty sure.
Nice.
That's what I'll do. So I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to do that. And then I'm going to get hooked.
Nice.
And then I'm going to blame you all for the fact that the
Well-
writing, the acting, the surfing,
Everything
all
went to
gone
pot.
completely out the window.
Well,
You'll be living on a diet of like beans,
Yeah,
living
of
in the
snodkins.
Look at it
That's
this
what I'm going
way.
to be on a diet of.
Look at it this way. You can substitute it with YouTube gaming or Twitch and just start playing your games there and streaming your games online to get you that publicity out there again.
Wow. Okay. Oh, I like that.
We'll
Okay.
give you some pointers after the show.
Yeah, I'm literally understand.
And
Yep.
see, you can once you get back into the game world, you can be influenced, and you can start putting all that pop culture stuff in your writing, and you can name one
I
of your
love
characters
this.
named
Yes.
Gaz with the dope hat that he's got on. Name one of your characters Gaz, you know, and sit at the arcade playing, and then something like
And then
a
the
big
vampire
stone
comes up
sword
to him.
flies out of nowhere.
hat has history behind it, and this shirt has history behind it. This shirt was given to me by my friend who actually is the voice of Luigi and Yoshi in games. So he also named all the French Pokemon. So thanks, shout out to Julian. This hat I got in a really, really messy rooftop bar in Dubai. You don't want to know how much I paid for this because it was really off my face.
I do want that actually. I really want that hat. It's really cool.
You have terrible taste, Siobhan. You have terrible taste. You are sober and you're saying that.
Every. Thanks.
Your hat is so much cooler than mine.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I'm glad we agree on that.
So,
Oh,
go ahead.
They're different, you know.
I was going to kind of bring it back to the gaming thing because you have such a colorful history when it comes to your acting career.
Mm.
What was it like having jumped
Yeah.
into the gaming sphere where I imagine you've done something similar where you're, well, my friend's in audio, but they just read out lines. Do you get to see corresponding game footage? How did you find that transition into voice recording for games?
Well, so it really depends. Like the studio where I go is called Side in London, which is a speciality studio for casting games and then recording games.
Oh wow, okay.
So, yeah, so like you have to audition for a video game like anything else. It's not like with voiceovers, normally they hear your voice, they hear your reel, and then they're like, yes, we want them, no, we don't. You know, that's kind of it. You don't obviously don't hear about the no's, because it's just, you only hear like, oh yeah, you know, this, they want you for this advert or whatever, great, or this audiobook. But for a video game, you get sent a brief of the character, an image of the character, which I would always get very excited. I'd be like, not always would you get an image, but so for the Dark Queen, there wasn't an image.
Okay.
But there was just, I was sent like a small excerpt of the script just beforehand, and I got her, and they said, you know, originally she was supposed to be American, so they were like American accent, and then I looked at her and I was like, she's English. I was like, she's
really?
100% English. Yeah, I was like, there's no way she's English. It's like, it's funny, it's just like, because sometimes, you know, the character just jumps out so much at you, you're just like, that's it.
But
So
at that point, you
you
hadn't
go-
seen any drawings. You bet you decide, or in your head, that she was English because based on the writing, the script, right?
Yeah, based on the writing, and I just thought, and the name, I was like, the Dark Queen. You know? It's like, obviously. You know?
Yeah.
And then like,
Absolutely.
and you're given a little bit of background as well, and I was like, wow, okay, she's great. So
Yeah.
so with the Dark Queen, it was lovely. I went into side, I said, they said, oh, she's American, and I was like, she's English.
And
they're
that was
like-
it. That was it. That's it.
Yeah.
Just you saying that made it that way.
Yeah, so I did it in English, and then literally it always takes a while with games. Didn't hear anything for like 3 months, and I was convinced, like there are just certain roles that you kind of think, mine,
Yeah.
and I was like, she's mine, she has to be mine, because I love her.
Oh,
And
wow.
she's mine. And then yeah, got the call, and they were like, yeah, they absolutely love you, and yeah, the English accent, yes, apparently. But that's not always the way with other video games. You go in and you're in a little, like, you go in to record, you'll sometimes they'll show a little excerpt of the, you know, to give you a little background of the character, and like what was the one that I did? Yeah, it would have been what do you call it? Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call
3.
it? Mass Effect. Do you know how much sacrilege you just committed there by just saying Mass
I'm really not good
It's
at
like-
remembering names
It's
of
the
things.
equivalent of saying, "Oh, do you know that Star Wars? Yeah, Star Wars."
Yeah, but for a second I thought I've been listening to a lot of Massive Attack, and I was suddenly, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, Mass Attack 3. So I'm amazed I even managed to say it. I love Mass Effect. I love Mass Effect, and I will never forget the name. See, I don't forget lines, but I forget names is a big problem for me of everything.
Yeah.
Has that dug me out of that hole yet?
Yes, yeah, kind of, because I'm terrible with names, so I kind of sympathize.
good.
Actually.
Okay, good. Because yeah, I'm just like, oh, la, la. But yeah, with Mass Effect 3, they showed me a little bit of the break, like of a little bit of the gameplay, and a little bit of the kind of like the cutscenes. It's called cutscenes, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's called cutscenes.
Oh,
Killing me, Siobhan. You're killing me, Siobhan.
You're trying to do so well.
I think we have to educate you a little bit more.
Yeah, that was a good question. I wasn't going to go that far.
You're like, you're all gonna leave. You're like, no, we're done. That's
That's it.
it.
This is enough.
Oh no, this is more
Massive.
interesting. This is more interesting to me.
No, actually, it is. It is, because we kind of navigate those core circles so much. It's nice to get a fresh take on it. It's really, really interesting.
Okay, good. Really, really interesting.
That's
Excellent.
right, because a lot of times I forget, you know, the difference between Xbox and PlayStation unless I watch Game On Daily with Gaz, and he has to explain it to me all the
I
time.
mean,
I love the plugin.
I
I
have
love
to say,
it.
I used to love like Sega Mega Drive, Nintendo, all summer, like every summer.
Do you still have a
actually,
Game Boy?
No, she's outgrown it, clowns. That's what she's
I
saying.
haven't outgrown it. I haven't outgrown it. I loved my Game Boy. I love my Game Boy. I don't know where it is, but
Your batteries are probably dead in it. Just a
Exactly.
FYI.
no, it's probably
Do you
melted.
have the big one, like the really big
Yeah, I
one,
had
the
big
giant one?
Absolutely. See, I liked the fact when it was like Sega Mega Drive, Nintendo, there weren't that many buttons. There was just like, I like the fact that, you know, it's like, great, this is fun, this is fine. As soon as they started putting like all the buttons, and I was being beaten up in like Street Fighter by my brother and by his mates every single time that I was like, wait, I'm trying to get the, I can't, I was like, actually, I'm done. There are too many buttons. I can't be bothered with this.
It's true.
I'm done. So
Okay.
yeah, but I feel that it might be time to jump back in. I feel ready for that.
Phil Spencer, if you hear this, she needs an Xbox, I'm sure.
We got a
Spencer's-
question from the chat.
I do.
Um,
great.
So Ragnar was actually asking how long did it take to tape the whole voiceover?
For the Dark Queen.
Yes.
It probably it must have taken, how many times did I go in? 1, 2, 3. Probably about, I think it was about 8 hours in total, but kind of broken up. I'd say it was 8 hours. Yeah, there was one day that we were in there for about 3 hours straight. Which was hilarious.
Do we have any outtakes? Is there?
Yeah,
is
there
there-
should be. Well, just, you know what? I got in so much trouble with my brother just as lockdown was about to hit London. It was like a few days before it was going to be massive lockdown.
Oh yeah.
AJ was like, hey, can you come into the studio and do the, you know, and I was like, well, yeah, I shouldn't really, I mean, because there's like the plague has descended, AJ, but I was like, of course, like, you know, I'll come into the studio, I'll do it, it's fine. And like, yeah, my brother was just like, you're gonna kill our family by going and doing this video game. And I was like, don't be so ridiculous.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, my sister, she works under the CEO at Tupperware, I think it is.
Yeah.
And they fly her all over the world because she has to prepare different dishes, like for the European market, for like the frozen foods, because they're healthier.
Yeah.
And they had sent her to China right before the outbreak happened, and they sent her to Wuhan, China.
What?
She was there. She ate at
Is
the
patient
fish.
zero?
Huh?
What? She ate.
She ate at the
Wait,
fish. Yeah, the fish
He
market.
wasn't the one who
Oh,
started
wow.
the whole spread across
The
the,
one
world.
that-
then.
Yeah, the one that started the whole thread across. And she came back to America and she wasn't feeling well. She felt sick. So she went to the doctor and the doctor's like, oh, it's just a cold. And then she got worse over like 4 weeks' time. And they gave her like breathing treatments. Like, oh, it's your asthma. And I don't think she ever told the doctor at the time because they didn't really correlate the two right away. And after everything happened and they started talking about the outbreak and linking it to China, I was like, you should tell the doctor that you were over there. She's like, nah, I'm better now. The doctor doesn't need to know.
So your sister is patient zero, is what you've just told us.
She could have been patient zero.
Zero.
Well, to be honest with you guys, I have coworkers that were sick back in December. So
Wow.
before, and they had the exact same symptoms, and nobody knew any of this. So I think before it became a pandemic, it was out there, but everybody just thought, oh, it's just a flu, it's just a bad. Nobody thought anything of it. And one of my best friends also had his daughter had her friend that came literally from there. She flew over there for something and came back because they're networking. Came back, stayed with them. She was sick. His daughter was sick. He was sick. And he's like, my skin never hurt that bad ever in my life.
Wow. The symptoms are so
Wow.
strange, like skin hurting. That's the first time I've heard of that. And then there's other people. I have a
Yeah.
friend of mine he's lost his sense of smell and taste for over months now. And
Really?
yeah, he's in London. And he's just
That's the most
really bad.
common.
Yeah. And
Wow.
when I was in I was in Paris in January when all this was breaking out. I was in Chinatown, of all places, and they were celebrating the Chinese something New Year or something like that in
Yeah.
Jan. And yeah, I came back. I was deathly ill, and I was like, it's either coronavirus. It can't be chlamydia. It has to be coronavirus.
Well, way to put that out there, guys. You're like, it's one or the other, but it can't be that one.
It might be
Oh,
both,
I'm
but
clear of this.
but the mystery remains unsolved.
We do have some questions from the chat.
Yes.
Jago asks, he wants to know what your favorite console or gaming franchise of all time is.
Ooh, I have to say that I loved Monkey Island. I love all the Monkey Island games.
Wow.
Absolutely love all the role-playing platform games, right? Correct? Yeah.
Mhm.
And actually the Dig I loved as well. And Beneath the Steel Sky, absolutely loved that. So they're probably I'd say they're probably my favorites. I really got into those in my kind of late teens, I suppose. And I would be up then all night just being like, gotta figure out how do I get this? Well, this is impossible. But yeah, those would be my favorite for sure. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. And then I've always got I'll always have, my heart will always, there'll always be a place in my heart for like Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario Brother,
Have you tried
Everyone in
Grim
chat
Fan-
is impressed by your answer there. The indie game
really-
is an amazing answer. That is an amazing.
Really?
Have you
Hey.
tried Grim Fandango or Full Throttle?
Do you know what? I like Grim Fandango, but I preferred the kind of I just preferred the kind of the graphics, the really simple graphics, but beautiful graphics of kind of of the Lucas Arts thing.
Oh, yeah.
I just loved it. I just thought it wasn't overcomplicated. It wasn't it was just clean, funny, beautiful, and cool. And yeah, so I found Grim Fandango just a bit too much bells and whistles. I'm a simple girl,
So Full Throttle would be a good one.
Okay, I'm very excited now. Full Throttle, writing it down.
Full Throttle, yeah, that's an old one. They're actually remaking that
Right.
game.
Are they rebooting that? I didn't know
Yes,
I think it's already been rebooted by Tim
they've been
Schafer.
rebooted.
Yeah.
that.
Double
The Full
fine.
Throttle will always be, I'll have a bitter memory because my neighbor had a PC and I didn't, and he would blackmail me to enable me to play that. And he wouldn't even let me play it. I had to watch him play it. But
That's
I love
really
I thought we were
that-
going dark.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that that's actually not okay,
I
Like, he
know,
shouldn't
but yeah, I mean, but the good news is he's dead. No, I'm just kidding. He's not dead. I don't know.
have-
No, yeah, it's a weird one, but I'm glad you've got some really diverse taste, like very unique taste in games. It's a shame you've kind of fallen off the gaming wagon, but then
Okay, I have a
it
feeling
correlates with your success, I guess.
it's coming back. Even last night, I was lying in bed and I was like, one of my best mates has just voiced the new Beneath Steel Sky that came out, which I haven't looked into because I know I'll just disappear down a vortex of like obsession with games again. And even last night I was like, don't do it. I was looking at my laptop like, but I really want to.
Soon you'll be able to play Xbox on your laptop too. You can actually play Game Pass now on your laptop through Xbox.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Game
pretty-
Pass,
How
Game Pass
much?
Ultimate.
And pretty soon on your TV.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
can't
directly
see.
stream
You're
it
not
to
going to be
your
able to get
TV.
away from games soon. It's going to be everywhere you are.
Okay, we got another question from Midway Monster, and he's asking, what would your dream voiceover role be?
Ooh. Well, I have to say the Dark Queen is probably like an absolute dream. Like that's just that was, I loved playing her. So what would be another one? That's a good question. maybe something. Maybe if LucasArts decides to do another Monkey Island, then it would have to be something in Monkey Island. I reckon I would love that, like playing, some other pirate queen. That would do.
What made
right,
you,
so
you? Sorry, go ahead, Fred.
I was going to say, to follow up with that, so seeing that you do like the original Star Wars, I'm going to
Yeah.
assume that the rest of the Star Wars are okay with you also.
Oh yes.
What
Yeah.
would be the Star Wars role? Because where Clowns and I are, Disney built Galaxy's Edge, and I've been there many times. And you get in your mind, you get to pretend that you're an actual character in Star
Nice.
Wars, and they are going to have a hotel that you can stay for a
Ooh.
week,
Okay.
black out, and actually live that
Oh.
dream.
Well,
So
then-
what would your character be?
Well, I think I'd have to be like, I think probably like I want to be a Jedi, but I kind of also want to be a bit like Harrison Ford. So I basically want to be a bit of a bad Jedi, but not the dark side, just more of the cheeky side, like the cheeky side of the Force. That's
The
what I
rebel.
want to be, just
Kind of like a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
'Cause
just
that's the way I look at it.
somewhere in
The
the middle.
dark side, and then the light, and then there's the cheeky side.
She wants-
The cheeky side is pretty much how I got ill in
Force.
France, by the way.
She
But
wants to be the Dark Queen in Star Wars, plain and simple.
Yeah, she does. She
Yeah,
wants to blow up
pushing
all the
through it.
rebels. Just like
Actually, to be honest, yeah, I mean, playing some really dark empress in Star Wars would be particularly enjoyable.
you love the darker roles, don't you? It's I've always rooted for the bad guys in these
It's just-
things.
There's so much more fun. There's so
They're more
much.
fun, aren't they? Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, when I was voicing Mass Effect 3, playing, I don't want to ruin it for some people who haven't played it. So
Oh,
spoiler.
it's like a decade old,
it's
Siobhan.
old enough.
Tell us
Okay,
now.
look, I still haven't played Full Throttle. You never look. I've actually got my notepad. here.
real quick.
They're all
You're
like,
actually
yeah.
writing it down. I thought you were
I'm
just like
literally
hand waving.
I'm back in the gaming.
At
Real
the end of
quick,
the show,
AJ from Delilah Studios, his role model was Tim Schafer. So he loved Full Throttle growing up, and he loved
Really?
Day of the Tentacle.
Oh, see, actually,
Yeah.
I you know what? I did really love Day of the Tentacle as well, and that makes sense with how AJ, like how Battletoads is.
Yes.
yeah, it was an inspiration. He said,
Yeah, gosh, that makes complete sense.
yeah.
Amazing.
Uh,
But,
also-
Yeah. But yeah,
Al-
playing
also-
evil characters is just, I love. Sorry, I cut you
it's okay.
off. Go on. Go on.
Okay,
No, please, I
so
want to hear it.
yeah, at
No,
the end
go
of the stream,
on.
your book is gonna be like 100 pages full of names and games and things you have to do.
See, and then she could turn around and sell it to the public. Here you go. Here's my book I wrote live on air. Poor guys on.
Where I was pretending to write names of games on a piece of paper, but I was scribbling my obituary very quickly.
Look, you can actually, you can't read my writing because it's so bad, but there is Full Throttle. There we go.
Yes, I see it.
Here we go.
Right there. And Xbox, YouTube, Xbox.
Yes, yes.
Going beyond the box right there, and then that says "Message Mike." That's nothing to do with this conversation. That was something I had to
Hi, Mike. Hi,
Yeah.
Mike. Hey, Mike.
You just have to look on your phone, Game Pass. It's
Okay.
actually Xbox
Right,
Game
Going
Pass.
down again. The pen is out. Xbox Game Pass. Okay.
Yeah, that's the app. So if you find that, then
Okay.
then you will be amazed.
I have a feeling I'll be checking in with you guys to find out exactly what you're doing.
Oh, and while you're writing down podcasts, there's a good one. I gotta tell you this because if you're ever bored and you're in a casting trailer or something, you're just waiting, nothing to do.
Mhm.
Retro Renegades is a show you want to watch because our friend, his name's Graphic God. He puts together this whole. He's like he is, man. How do I describe him? He is a great graphic designer, and he does it for us as a hobby, like as a friend. And he puts together
Oh,
this
nice.
fantastic piece. He produces it all himself. and it looks like he's playing in an arcade while he's talking with people. So you can see like the old games on the screen.
Yeah.
It's really cool stuff. You
Wow,
might
thank
actually
you.
enjoy
Yeah,
that.
I'm definitely going to check that out. That sounds amazing and totally up my street. Retro and games. Down.
My description was going to be he is the graphic god.
Yeah,
Is he?
that's his
Yeah, he
nickname.
is.
That is
Actually, if you look at I don't know if you have YouTube up and the show
Yeah.
itself.
yeah.
Because if you have that up, the graphic that was in the background, that's actually made by him.
Oh, you're joking.
No,
He designed that for the show.
he designed it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Oh wow,
okay,
that's really,
yeah,
he's really
yeah.
really talented. That's really
Okay.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
he-
incredible.
He's over 35 years or 25
really
years of
cool.
experience, so he's
I mustn't Google while I lose you. There we go. Okay, I'm back. My connection is still slightly unstable. It keeps
That's
telling
alright.
me, so I'm not going to
And
Google words.
he does this all with one hand.
Really?
Yeah, he's a one-handed artist. He does all this
Wow,
with one hand.
that's amazing. That's
And gaming.
yeah,
and he-
gaming one hand. It's
Yeah.
his trademark.
wow.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what? If you ever in the future you ever design like a t-shirt line, he's the guy to go to. He would help you out. He would be like, Siobhan is awesome. I'll design something. He loves your
Yeah.
he loves your character, Dark Queen. He
Oh,
loves it.
yes. You. Well, well, then I definitely will be going to him.
Um,
And now you've put the seed in my mind. I have to design t-shirts.
you should. And then you could make hats like Gaz's hat, but you can make it
Oh my
cooler.
God.
You can make
Yes.
it
That's
cooler.
not possible.
Don't,
That's not
don't, because I am the kind of person who's then like, great, okay.
And,
I've got,
and
like,
you can make it like the Siobhan signature series.
yes.
Isn't
is
that
all
SS or S? Oh god.
Gaz is like, stop giving ideas, clowns. Stop it. It's bad ideas, clowns.
I'm just
So
glad there's a third S in there. That's fine.
So
oh, did I?
Siobhan something. Sorry,
there
go
was
ahead.
someone that had another question. Punk Soul was asking if you can talk about the Lost Girls. He's a big OG Peter Pan fan, especially. What can we expect from this version that differs from the others that have been done, and her role as Wendy?
Oh, yes. Well, it's that was a complete dream part, I have to say, like a real dream. I think I'm allowed to say that so as you know, I'm playing the original Wendy Darling in it, and it's what's different, it's because I've done it so recently, I find it quite emotional. Sorry, because it was a really it was like it was a very beautiful shoot, and the young guy who's playing Peter Pan is fantastic. Louis, he's going to be a big star, as is the girl who is playing my daughter, who's absolutely, they're a complete dream. How it is different is that it's, if you know the book, and what was his name, the lovely guy who just wrote in to ask that question?
Punk Soul.
Punk Soul, excellent. Punk Soul, you read the book, so it's a slightly darker take. It's more of a kind of it's kind of a feminist look at how this, how this sexy, are you allowed to call Peter Pan sexy? Because I just did, but
You can't say that. We can't say that.
yeah,
Spanish can, but we
but
can't.
like this sexy young guy flies in through your window at night and flies you off to Neverland, and
Pretty sure that's what Gary Glitter was trying to angle that.
oh my God, there was a line and then there was no line anymore. So
That's
Gary
why they
Glitter,
bring me here. I'm
Gary
the
Glitter
habitual
looked
line
like-
stepper.
I think Gary Glitter was more after Peter Pan, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
I think he was trying to fly in Peter Pan's with. No, this is too much.
Oh god.
Oh my God, you started it. No.
you finished it.
Anyway, that nothing to do with Gary Glitter happens in the film, by
Yeah.
the way. but some glitter fairy dust is sprinkled. Oh no.
No, keep
No,
going.
I was trying to lighten it.
Oh, God.
No, you get you just kind of you get through the generations. Vanessa Redgrave is I don't know if that's been announced. Has it been announced? If it has
It
been
just
announced.
has.
Be
Okay.
careful.
This is why I'm kind of taking.
NDAs.
I'm trying to be like, what am I allowed to say? And I'm probably going to say everything wrong because I'm just like, shut up. But yeah, no, it has.
No, it hasn't.
Not that
You
it
just did.
Did I?
I don't know.
I don't know. Vanessa Redgrave has nothing to do with it whatsoever.
Just a made up name. Nothing.
Made up
Nothing,
name
nothing
just
to see here.
my head. It could have easily have been Maggie Smith, and you know I'm bad with names, so it's Maggie Smith in it.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
It,
She's not
it could have been as easy as what's Flamish's favorite word, Snoop Kiss, the candy.
Snoop Kiss,
Snoop Kiss,
exactly. Snoop Kiss.
Is that
So
literally a
can-
bowl where you just put candy on it, Flamish?
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
where's
word
the ball?
candy. The
Yeah,
bowl
it's
is
the word.
empty for. I think so I had like 4 bags of candy, like 4 big bags of candy, and they were empty like in 1 week and 1 day.
So show them the empty bowl.
Yeah.
The bowl is downstairs.
Oh, it's
all-
downstairs.
It's for a
I would
couple of
hope
weeks.
it. I would hope it's get downstairs getting clean by now, Flemish.
His sugar daddy's putting some more sugar in there.
Oh.
Are you trying to create a new strain of diabetes or something? That's-
Okay, so we just got confirmation from Pong Soul that the thing you were telling about is already announced. So you've
Okay,
done
phew.
nothing
Oh,
wrong.
thank you, Punk Soul. I really, really appreciate it.
That's one
really-
less
He
law
sees
saying
on
that.
point. He sees on point in the chat, by the way.
So yeah, so I play a younger Vanessa Redgrave, which hasn't been announced. Definitely hasn't been announced. But yeah, I play a younger. Okay, but Punk Soul, we keep this amongst ourselves.
Yes, live on air. We'll keep it amongst ourselves.
I'll maybe go to something else if
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah, maybe we don't talk about this. 'cause I'm-
Jago. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Jago asks, "Do you have a comfort food?"
Do I have a comfort food? Yes. What is my favorite comfort food? Well, actually, my food is just on the hob at the moment. I'm having delicious pasta sauce, tomato pasta sauce but I have it with, because I'm the worst vegetarian, by the way. I try and be vegan, but then I do have a roast chicken every Sunday. That's technically not.
that's fine.
Actually,
Technically,
roast
Yeah,
chicken
it's-
is
that's
comfort
fine.
food.
It's
It's like
fine.
the worst vegan.
That's
Like-
how we do it in America.
We-
One
we
day
call it
we're
cheat
vegan.
days.
Yeah, one day we're vegan. The next day, we're eating chicken.
You're eating chicken, and that is fine. And I'm very grateful to the chickens that I have eaten sacrificed every Sunday.
Well,
To have a
you're, sa-
roast
you're
chicken
saving
from-
them.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
saving them from being kicked in a video game. That's all.
Thank you. I really
Did you have a favorite? Well, I think you did say Dark Queen was your favorite.
Yeah.
So how did you really get into doing the voice acting in video games? Like, was it one day like you watched the game, you're like, oh man, I want to do that. Let me find out how to do it, or did you just walk into it by accident?
just
I assume it's someone who made it rain and said, "Here's some money, basically do some video games."
I mean, it was something similar to that, yeah. But,
Yeah.
no, I had always wanted to do video games because I'm a complete nerd, and like I said before, I love video games. So I spoke to my voice agent, and I was like, okay, so I need to do that. and then for a good couple of months of auditioning, it wasn't like every day, but I auditioned for a few things. Nothing. Maybe it was like 3 months, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm just not, maybe I'm just not good at this. Maybe I'm not nailing this in whatever way, as I'm having to do a voiceover audition for like a dragon with its claws in my back, and I'm like, and I was like, maybe I didn't scream properly for that. Maybe it should have been more of a like, and I was like, okay, it's fine. My dreams of being a voiceover artist for games is not going to happen. And then I think it was Mass Effect 3. Was that the
Mass
first?
Effect 3, and you were in the Citadel DLC.
Yeah,
of Maya
was the-
Brooks.
Yeah, so I auditioned for that part, and I had a lot of fun with that, you know, because I love playing evil people. I'm actually a really nice person most of the time, but I do enjoy playing evil people. And so the fact that I got to play this character of being like, oh my gosh, you know, so sweet and you know, innocent and like, oh please, you know, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm just a field agent, you know, this whole thing. And then turning around at the end and being like, well, you know, this delicious double character. I was like, yes. And then got the call and they were like, we absolutely love you. You've got the part. And it was from that. So I've got a huge thank you to BioWare for that, because from the back of that, I just had more and more video games, and to Side, big shout out to Side, you know, the gaming studios, because they've just always put me to kind of the forefront, be like, you need to see Siobhan, you need to listen to Siobhan stuff, you need to listen to Siobhan stuff. And yeah, and I'm like,
where
so
outside? They're in London, right?
Yeah, they're in London, but they've also got an office now in LA, and they've got one, I think they've got one in the East somewhere.
Where
in the where in London? It's
Yeah.
kind of Great Titchfield Street around there.
Oh, okay.
And they're such sound guys. They're so lovely, honestly. Really, really
cool.
You know,
great.
it's great when you find somebody that supports you like that when you're going to
Yeah.
go there. Because when I was acting, I basically fell into it,
Yeah.
and it was great. And then I started modeling, and then I went to a modeling agency, and I really wasn't getting anywhere with them, so I ended up stopping. And if you see me now, you're like, what?
No, well, I can't
Wait.
see. So now I'm like, wait, hang on a second.
Yes.
You're a model and you're an actor
Yeah.
and you're obviously gorgeous. And you're like,
And
not
he's
gonna
not. I got the camera on.
I'm like,
Exactly.
oh,
Hey, you never know. I might be sitting here, and you know, eating a tub of butter or tub of, was it mayonnaise?
It doesn't
and
matter with games,
or
man.
something.
doesn't matter.
Turn the
Your
camera
voice
on.
sounds amazing as well. I'm intrigued. I'm like, hang on a second.
Well,
You have to
Siobhan,
check out-
I got a story for you. Quite a few years ago, many years ago, when I was like 19, because I'm a lot older now, and I
It's a
gained a lot-
modeling story.
Yeah, no, not a no, it's not a modeling story. I never modeled, but I didn't have a beard. I had like the the 5 o'clock Italian shadow, because I come from a very deep Italian family. My dad was straight off the boat from Italy, so
lovely.
when I was younger, I really looked Italian. I wore the suits, I wore the jewelry, I wore the coats and everything. And they had a tryout for Sopranos in New Jersey. So I went there. I was all ready to do the tryout, but they closed the tryouts because they had too many people show up. So I was walking down the street, and a couple Italian guys from an actual social club, like with the steel door, like, the
Yeah.
kind that you can't get into, opened up the door. He's like, hey, forget about it. Why don't you guys come in here? You guys are real Italians. Don't hang out with those guys over there. And we got pulled in, and my friend's like nervous, right? I'm not, because my dad, he grew up in Brooklyn, so I knew
Yeah.
a lot of people growing up. So I was in there, and the guys were like, you want anything to drink? It's all free. It's all in the house, whatever you want. And I was like, can I just get a Diet Coke?
Oh my god.
And then I was like, see you guys later. Thanks for the Diet Coke. And I walked out. That was it. But yeah,
So
like, I mean, I could have, if they didn't close the tryouts for Sopranos, I probably could at least got on as a small role.
So now
Yeah.
we know where the Boondock Saint joke came. I just want a Coke.
Go.
So at one point you were like chilling with like Italian like mobsters, and then you have a little baby steal your Xbox.
Yeah, because I can't act. When you get older, you got to be mature about
True
things,
story, by
right?
the way, Siobhan. A
No.
6-month-old baby managed
Yes,
to steal his Xbox.
it's
not
true. It's not.
How
It's
do you
true.
6-month-old
You
baby?
keep
Let
up
me
for
just
like
take
six-
my. I've got to take my sauce off the hob.
Yeah, go check your sauce. Check your sauce. So you didn't have a beard, clowns, and
No.
then that happened. And then all of a sudden, I assume this coincides with you getting a circumcision and a beard, and you joined some kind of group.
No. So, Siobhan, true story. Gaz is right.
Right.
So I get to GameStop. I'm in line waiting for the next Xbox, the Series X, and the manager comes out and he counts in line. And I'm set to get one. So I was like, all happy, so excited, jumping up and down, joy inside, like the little kid I am inside, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so then, I mean, we'll just call him Billy Bob. There's a guy in front of me. I call him Billy Bob because he had a chair. And Billy Bob calls his friend over. His friend comes out of the car, stands with him. I'm like, no, you can't stand here. There's a line. Got to get in the back of the line. Got to respect the line. There's so many people here. And at first he was like, no. And then we talked a little bit about it. I was like, please, I don't want to get upset. I'm trying to maintain a peaceful life. Just, go in the back of the line. And, he was like, okay, I can respect that. Because he's like, I'd be upset too if I were you and you got cut off. So I was like, okay, so I'm set to get all my, I'm going to get my ex again. This guy goes, listens to the rules. Out of nowhere comes a lady with a minivan speeding into the parking lot. Like with the van, jumps out of the van. And there's a guy in line with 3 kids, right? And we'll call him Ponytail Boy because he had a ponytail. So she gives him his wallet with money, and then she stands there. And I'm like, excuse me, you can't butt in front of all of us. We're waiting for, get a number for the Series X. You can't do this. And she turns around. She's like, well, that's my baby. And I'm like, so you let some guy drive your baby here? Because otherwise you guys are husband and wife and you can't butt in line. And she's like, no, we're from different households. I'm like, so he drove here in his car with your kid with no wallet, no license. He's watching your kid, no wallet, no license. And you're okay with that. And because he has your baby, that baby holds your spot in line. And then the guy was like, you got a problem with that? And I was like, yeah, I do. And, in Florida, if you unfortunately, if you hit somebody first, you're in a lot of trouble. So I wouldn't hit him. I was being peaceful, meditating, I was doing the right thing.
The kid is only 6 months old. You don't really want to commit offense. So.
No, you don't really want to.
Yeah, so,
the baby, unless it's in Battletoads. No, but even in Battletoads, they hit the baby. Sorry, that makes sense.
I needed the Dark Queen there for a moment to give him the middle finger, but
kind of slipped in.
The baby turns around with a cigar in his mouth and turns and says, hey, this is my Xbox.
So the manager comes out, and I'm the most boisterous one because of my Italian background. Like the people here in Florida are not very boisterous. No. So the 2 kids in front of me were like, oh no, she doesn't belong here. She butted in front of line. Manager's like, well, is that true? And she's like, well, I'm from a different household, all this stuff, right? So I turn around like, wait a minute, what do you mean you're from a different household? You just brought a wallet to a guy. If you're from a different household, was you break in his house to get his wallet? And she's like, no, I had his wallet. Like, well, how do you have his wallet if he has your kid? What is going on here? This is suspicious. I was like, I was saying this is very suspicious. And the manager's like, well, if they're really from different households, I have to let her get the X. And I'm like, so the baby in line holds a spot for a grown adult? And he's like, yes. And I was,
that would only happen in America. I'm sorry.
I'm so mad.
See, that's where you would have heard yes, and then him hitting the ground.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said that, Dread. I'm glad you said that.
No.
There's a distinct lack of violence in this story, which
Are we also forgetting that there was 2 teenagers there? Who do they live with?
Exactly.
No, they weren't teenagers. They were toddlers. So one was like an 8th grade middle schooler, and the other was like a toddler girl. And they were all standing.
Xbox as well. Then?
No, they didn't have money for.
One per household.
No. This manager was crooked. He did 2 per household.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
I got the S, not the X. So
these are Xbox consoles, by the way, Siobhan, if you're wondering.
Yeah, they are. The S is the lower version.
You'll see the pain.
So it's very painful. It's very, very painful. But it's a light at the end of the tunnel, as I can still play Battletoads and see the Dark Queen on there.
That's good. Yay!
What they talk about Xbox Cloud is, to bring it back to gaming. Well, it was still about gaming. Is the fact that the games now you can play them on your mobile, so
Yeah.
so that's kind of breaking down the barriers. Battletoads is kind of one of those games that it's been heralded. It's used as an example of people playing them on their phones.
Oh,
So-
really?
So yeah, your character's been played around across the
Oh my-
world by people on the trains
That's
everywhere.
amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That
It's
makes
pretty
me so unbelievably happy. I have to say, unbelievably happy.
Uh,
And also slightly terrified that I'm now disappearing down the rabbit hole, wormhole of
Of video games.
gaming forever.
Has anybody asked this yet? Because I'm sorry I was late.
Hmm.
Is there another game edition that you're looking for, or can you say?
There's something that I'm working on that I can't say at the moment, but it's an animated series.
Ooh.
Which is really
Lovely.
interesting, and it's got
I'm-
quite a juicy cast. I
Ooh.
have to say. and
Earthworm Jim.
It's written by a comic book writer. So
Are you evil in it?
No, do you know what? I'm not evil yet. Oh wait, I do become evil.
It's like Mass Effect all over again.
I love
Uh,
it when they turn.
Graphic God says. Graphic God alludes to Battletoads animated series for the win, and it's probably not that, Graphic God. I mean, we all wish for that, but it's probably not.
I know my lips
Yeah.
are sealed at the moment. I can't say
Huh.
anything. I'm not going to say anything.
Uh,
Either way.
Let,
Yeah.
Let's change the subject then. So first of all, Clowns is gonna be scarred for life about this. We're gonna hear this for years about the Xbox.
That's because we won't
Yes.
let him forget it.
I won't let him
It's,
forget
it's
it.
a funny story. You
It-
will never forget it.
I think I'm gonna make a YouTube video of it and probably get like
Yeah.
1 million
I
views.
keep
about how it
showing
would
him-
be.
Italian credentials stolen away from you. If you say that, they'll snatch them away from you.
I
Do
keep
not-
sending Clowns the gif of Will Ferrell punching the baby. So yes, I'm definitely part of that scarring that he's gonna.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jago,
So-
Jago says you've got that evil laugh down to a T. One.
Also, another question: are you excited yourself for the new consoles? Are you gonna buy one?
Definitely. I mean, now that I have all of my notes, and
All the names
now
of
I-
games you can't play on those consoles. you can't-
exactly, and I'm just gonna have to relearn how to use all the big controllers, right? But you know, I'm gonna do it. I am excited. I'm very excited.
Well, the
I'm
new
terrified.
the new Xbox controller will have a share button, so you can share your favorite moment or screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is this stream sponsored by
There
Microsoft?
goes my life. There goes my writing. There goes everything. There goes sleep.
Well, don't forget, you're gonna have a streaming career. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean, you
you
could.
broadcast.
You could. There
Should-
there are a lot of celebrities that turn to Twitch that do that
you
as
got
a
Will-
side
Will
career.
Smith.
Oh,
Massively,
really?
Huge. You'd be
Yeah.
huge.
Jack Black.
you
I
will
think's
have
doing
a-
it.
Really?
Yeah, Jack Black. We have Brian Labrie.
Oh, gosh.
The Marvel.
Marvel
I-
actor. You got the Spider-Man dude played Spider-Man. Who's the Superman?
Oh, you know who does it?
No.
You might.
Henry,
you-
Henry Cavill
Yeah,
Does it?
Henry Cavill built a PC.
built a gaming PC.
Henry Cavill
His
What?
arms. Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
Superman
nerdy.
built
Super
a
nerdy.
gaming PC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
And
got
you
his-
Also,
see,
Terry
you
Crews.
see
Terry
his
Crews
arms as he's
as
picking
well.
everything up, which is what Flamish is drooling about.
Oh,
He's the
wow.
perfect man. Just look at his body. It's like
He's the perfect man. Look at his body. Look
he
at
has a
his
perfect
PC.
physique body. Like
So
Superman, amazing body,
without a
gaming
mustache.
PC. You are gone, man. You're like,
Yeah, he's out there. He had too much Snoop Kiss, too much candy.
Too much.
Tell
Siobhan,
me Snoop Kiss is like an abbreviation for like LSD or something. We can't
Do
do
you-
candy.
I'm getting it too hot in here.
Oh, thank you. You had a shirt on.
oh,
Oh
thank
my
God.
god, there we go. Now
Yeah.
let's see.
Getting hot in here. So take off all your
Hey,
clothes.
Palm Beach.
You're not even from Florida.
I know.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh, God.
So I don't know. You might know this person.
Yeah.
You might have come across him, but Gary Whitta.
Okay. Yes, I do recognize. Yeah, Gary Whitta. Yeah.
He did some writing for Star Wars, I think, and he did some other stuff before that for comic books and stuff. But he actually turned to Twitch as well, and he has a show called Animal Talking, where he instead of Animal Crossing,
Yeah.
he sets the play up like it's almost like Animal Crossing, but he talks to like famous guests. He had Lisa Loeb on. He had Phil
Wow.
Spencer on. Yeah, he's had a lot of pretty big people on his
Cool.
show.
Nice. Okay. I'm gonna
So
check. Yeah.
Gary Whitta
It
needs
is
to
a
get
good
you on
one.
his show too. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Love to. Yeah. Let's do
You need
it.
to
And if
show
you
us
do
the
anything
pasta
Star
that
Wars, let me know.
Elsa's made. Can you bring up the pasta when you've done cooking?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I do. I have to go soon because my pasta is, it is cooking.
Oh, yeah.
So it's nearly. It's very. Sauce is pretty good now, I have to say. But then I
Can we
will
be the
present
judge
it
of
to you
that?
guys.
Can we see that? Can we see?
Uh, well, no, because I haven't added all of the rest of the. The mushrooms need to get.
Yes.
It's like stage one. I'm a little bit anal when it comes to. So I'm like that. I had to saute the onions first for a good 10 minutes,
Yes.
caramelize them,
Oh,
and
nice.
then mix in a little bit of the garlic and all the tomatoes. Reduce the tomatoes with the herbs and the bay leaves and the salt and the pepper, and then mamma mia.
Oh.
And then next stage is mushrooms, some wine, because I forgot to go to the shop to get wine, which should have gone stage one, but we'll forget about that.
Oh yeah, you
then-
need the wine and the sauce.
The wine and the sauce has to happen,
love the
and then a
sauce.
little bit of wine in my mouth,
Oh, yeah.
and then a little bit of some. Oh my god, I'm getting really hungry talking about this.
I'm actually,
I'm
my mouth's
hungry. Are you
watering and
kidding me?
reaming
I'm
these.
so sorry, guys.
I still need to eat. I'm actually gonna eat after the stream. so-
Yes, this is all your fault. Yes.
Let your stoppies downstairs. That's why you should have had them upstairs.
Yeah, have your napkins
Yeah.
down.
Anyway, yeah, that's I'm suddenly like, and my onions, and not my onions, my olives and some capers is really nice with it, and then some vegan meat.
Yes.
Okay, which is delicious.
What's, you can't say yes when she says vegan meat. You're a
Yes.
I have vegan meat in my fridge too. I just don't
It's
eat it
so
all the
good,
time.
Hey,
It
so
is good.
I got a curious question about
on.
the vegan stuff. Like, do
Yeah.
you know the Impossible Burger?
I see where you're going.
I don't think I do. Why? What's in the Impossible? But is it actually impossible?
The Impossible Burger tastes
Yeah.
like meat,
Yeah.
but is actually from vegetables.
It's
Oh,
all
yummy.
plant-based.
That's what all
It's all
vegans say. Oh, it
plant-based.
tastes like meat. It tastes like cardboard mixed with
Pla-
regret.
It
No.
doesn't taste like cardboard.
No.
It
It's
bakes like meat. It looks
doesn't
like meat.
taste like
Tastes like
cardboard.
meat.
So why not just eat meat?
Yeah.
I love cows. I love cows and little cows. I love them. They're so.
Then I won't tell you my story about cows.
Yeah,
The-
don't
the-
Dreadpool, keep it
Was
to yourself.
an evil cow? No,
I
actually,
used to own a
sorry.
farm.
Okay. Okay.
How, when you have such a diverse history, you're a model.
Oh my
You're
god!
on
Oh my god! I love this. I love this.
We
Uh,
yeah.
Come on,
We,
you're going there. Come on.
we named the first cow that we got on the farm T-Bone.
Oh man, that poor cow. I hope it
Lucky
fought
he-
back.
He had a good life.
I hope it
He had a
fought
good
back.
life. We
Yeah,
took care
you
of
had a
him.
good life in your digestive tract.
But was he?
That's
I mean, did he
terrible.
taste good? That's the important thing. Do you know
He
what? Like,
He was taken care of. He was bottle fed when he was a little calf.
oh,
He would even full grown. Okay, this is when I lived with my parents
Yeah.
on the farm. Even my mom would feed him,
oh wow.
and then full grown, he would still try to jump up in her lap like a lap dog. And you're talking
I
about
mean,
a
you're really
huge
setting
beast.
this up.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
he had a good life. You know, we
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Sure.
look, and that's what I mean. I think I have got I'm definitely, well, as we already know, I'm a terrible vegan, hopeless. I mean, I also have eggs. So actually, technically, just a terrible vegetarian who tries to be vegan, not with a lot of, power or strength behind it. But
You're not a
I
terrible
think-
vegan, no.
Oh,
A terrible
I mean, not a
vegan is a
terrible-
vegan, but you eat chicken.
Yes.
Sorry.
Wow.
we call those cheat.
But I think cheat days, cheat day. cheat day or death day is otherwise known as. No, but like
that's dark. That's totally
That's
you.
darker than what I
be allowed
Stop talking about
ever.
cows on this gaming sphere.
Shouldn't be
It's so
allowed.
weird.
We're talking about food.
I have a question for you, Siobhan.
Yeah, go on.
A while ago, well, probably more than a while ago, 2015, I had the opportunity to interview Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Wow, okay, yeah.
And during the show, he like did something really cool for us. And I don't know if you're allowed to do it or not, but he said in the Master Chief's voice that you were watching Four Guys with Quarters. Are you able to say that in the Dark Queen's voice?
Yeah. Let me just try and hang on. Let me just try and so what do I have to say again? Hang on.
You are watching Four Guys with Quarters.
Okay. Hang on, let me just try and get into Dark Queen mode. Hang on. Right. You are watching Four Guys with Quarters. Is that right? Did I say that right or not? Can't
Yep.
I
quite
have to
remember.
say Game On Daily after that.
I'll say it again. Wait, Four Guys with Quarters. What is it?
Four Guys with Quarters.
Right. Listen. You are watching Four Guys. Okay, right. I've got it. You're watching Four Guys with Quarters. All right.
Yep.
Ah,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
you
My
you
pleasure.
don't own the royalties to that now. That's going to be spliced and used in any product.
I just
I-
want to hear I love Dreadpool, but that's okay. You know, I'm not gonna force you to.
The cow killer? No way.
Okay, then. Listen, guys, I am gonna have to go.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. And some food because I am starving. After that conversation about eating meat, I'm just gonna have to put a steak in my sauce. I'm not gonna do that. But
we have to love you back someday.
I
I mean,
would-
this was
I
really
would
fun.
love to be back. I've had so much fun. So much fun. Really.
So we'll do it tomorrow.
And
Oh,
yeah. Come on. As I set up my streaming thing, that's exactly what's going to be happening.
You should
And like I
definitely-
said, Phil, if you're watching this, Aaron Greenberg, she could use an Xbox Series X, maybe two of them, one for me, one for her. That would be great. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock.
Oh, and Phil, don't forget, she can do a voiceover on one of your commercials.
Yeah. And Aaron
Oh,
Greenberg.
Yeah,
don't
thanks,
forget.
guys.
Yeah. Aaron Greenberg, you didn't retweet our trailer, you piece of shit. Sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
that was a good trailer. That was a good trailer. I liked
Oh.
it.
All right.
Thank
All right, guys. Well, so she can make her tomato pasta dish and the onions and the basil and the garlic and the salt and the oregano and everything else that goes into it. I am going to end the stream here. Real quick before we get out of here, Devon,
Outro.
where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter, but I'm not great on Twitter, to be honest. I'm more of a visual person. So I'm on Instagram.
asking for your
That's where
address.
you can find me. Yeah. Huh? Wait, I missed that little bit.
He's asking for your address.
Or you could find me probably.
Well, you know what? I'll have to add you on Instagram then. Hopefully you add me back. You're just like, oh, it's
Yeah,
not just
I
a
will.
random guy. Will you?
No, I absolutely will. I absolutely will. I'd
Yes!
love that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's been such a pleasure to guys. Really enjoyed it.
No, you're
Really
really, down to
enjoyed
earth.
meeting
We
you.
love you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My apologies for being late. I enjoyed the time that we've had with you.
That's quite all right. Mystery Man Dreadpool, who I'll just be like, who is that guy?
Okay,
Well, if you
so hold on.
watch Game of Beyond the Box, you might be able to see his camera one of these nights.
Oh, there we go.
I'll
Okay,
make
So
him
the-
do it for Game On Day.
The last thing I want to ask is to clowns because
Right.
he's Italian. Say that real like pasta sauce.
What do you mean
Like
say
that.
real
Hang
pasta
on, wait.
sauce?
The spaghetti pasta.
No, don't
Yeah.
talk like that. My grandpa never talked like that. He would say, this is what my grandpa would do. Manja, 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 manja. Means eat. Because I wouldn't eat it. So he would yell at me and say manja constantly.
Boy, do I have a story about that too.
Oh, man.
Okay.
No,
All
you're
right.
done for.
Yeah.
You're
It's a funny
fired.
story. It's not a dark story. It's funny, but it's not dark. Oh,
All right, well, before Siobhan gets out of here, we all get out of here. Just want to do the outros real quick. Dreadpool, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Gaming Beyond the Box Wednesday nights with my camera on. Sometimes my camera ends up glitchy, so you'll see it kind of come and go. But you'll find me on Twitter at Dreadpool. All letters except for the zeros are replacing the O's. YouTube and my gamer tag is Dreadpool. Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern on Breakfast with Boom. And you can also find me doing the sporadic Breaking Bread with Dread, where I go out and find other members of our community and sit down and eat with them. And we literally, you're going to love this one. We literally record live while we're eating in a restaurant. So you hear all the clacking and the clanging and the waitress or the waiter coming up to us.
And the
Hey,
chip-
would you like a refill? And we're like, no, thank you. Or yes, or, all this stuff. It's all organic, real life. And we talk about gaming and just life in general.
Amazing.
This last one I put out is we actually got into Star Wars topic for a while.
Nice.
So you can find that on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can find it everywhere.
Wow.
And Gaz, where can people find you?
You can find me on GameOnDaily.com, which is the best gaming site in the world, as you guys know. Find me on YouTube, Twitter at GazOnDaily, and you can find me on OnlyFans. Yeah.
Amazing.
OnlyFans. Well, you know what, Gaz, is this interview going to be going up on Game On Daily?
It's definitely going on my OnlyFans, yes. It's
Okay.
Great.
And Flamish, where can we find you?
Okay, so first of all, during the week, I'm here on Four Guys with Quarters on the channel with Clowns doing 4GQ TV. We have interviews and stuff and game streams. Then we have Tuesday evening, that's Retro Renegades at 7 p.m. That's on 3 different channels. Just follow me on Twitter for that to get updates. And then Sunday, I have the Flemish experience where I talk about gaming. It can be about cooking, bus riding and crashes, babies, everything. And yeah, it's one of the most fun shows on the
Good.
internet.
And everybody can find me at Italian Clowns on almost all social media. 4 Guys with Quarters, 4GQ TV, Game Beyond the Box. Was it Monday nights? Primetime Game with Mr. Boomstick and Friends. And I've been on Retro Renegades more than not lately to tease Flamish here and there and put him in the box of shame. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream and thank you all for coming out. The questions were great. Siobhan was awesome. She is such a cool person, and I hope we get to talk to her again and talk about, when other stuff comes out, talk about that other stuff. And just remember Siobhan, not Siobhan, Siobhan. So don't forget that.
I'm glad I missed that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right,
Thank you,
guys,
guys.
later.
Honestly, it's been amazing.